Honorable Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence that because I have 4 statements, I read them at a go, if you allow me.
Yes, you may proceed.
A request for statement on inequitable distribution of fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries regarding the inequitable distribution of fertilizer in the highland regions of Kenya as reflected in the latest report from the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, on fertilizer dispatch as at of 11th of March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the highland regions of Kenya, known for their high agricultural productivity, rely heavily on fertilizer to sustain food security and economic growth. However, a review of the fertilizer distribution data reveals significant disparities, with some counties receiving disproportionately large quantities, while others, equally dependent on agriculture, receiving far less. For instance, Honorable Speaker, Uasin Gishu County received 413,000 bags, 103, accounting for 20.99% of the total fertilizer distribution, whereas counties such as Muranga received 7,650 bags, Nyeri received 8,760 bags, and Kirinyaga received 280 bags, which is significantly lower allocations despite their agricultural potential. Nakuru County received 204,764 bags, nearly 10% of the total allocation, while counties like Meru received 12,910 bags, and Tharaka Nithi got 5,940 bags received, which are significantly less. Some agricultural counties such as Marsabit and Saburu did not receive any fertilizer allocation at all, raising questions about regional balance in the distribution. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the methodology and criteria used by the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, in determining the fertilizer allocations to various counties. Number 2, justification for the significantly low allocation to certain highland agricultural counties, despite their critical role in national food production. Number 3, the government's strategy to ensure fair and equitable distribution of fertilizer subsidies and to prevent the marginalization of key farming regions. Number 4, evidence on whether farmer registration data and actual county-level demand were considered in the allocation process, and clarification on any inconsistencies identified. Number 5, corrective measures being implemented to address these disparities and ensure that all farmers have fair access to fertilizers. Senator John Methu, Senator for Nyandarua. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the continued delay in the disbursement of Higher Education Loans Board funds, which has left thousands of university students stranded and unable to meet their basic needs. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite assurances from the government that HELB funds would be disbursed by Friday, 15th of March 2025, many students are yet to receive their financial aid. Students require immediate and tangible action, not verbal commitments that do not translate into actual disbursements. The failure to release funds in a timely manner has exposed thousands of young Kenyans to evictions, hunger, mental distress, and inability to attend classes due to unpaid fees. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the concrete measures being taken by the government to ensure the immediate disbursement of HELB funds, including a clear and accountable timeline for payment. Number 2, the total number of students affected by the delay, with a county-based breakdown to assess the scale of the crisis, specifying the interventions in place to prevent future delays and guarantee timely and predictable disbursement to all students going forward. Number 3, the financial position of HELB, including the amount allocated for the current academic year, to the total disbursed so far and the outstanding balances. Number 4, the government government's plan to enhance HELB allocation and to align with the rising cost of living, ensuring students receive adequate financial support. Number 5, there are accountability mechanisms in place to prevent the recurrence of such delays, including clarity on whether the National Treasury has released the required funds to HELB. Senator John Methu, MP, Senator for Nyandaro County. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism regarding the capability of the management of the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperative Society, CUSCO, following financial losses suffered by Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies, SACCOs, in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, this matter is of national concern and urgent action has shaken the confidence of many Kenyans in the SACCO sector, which for a long time has been a safe haven for members' hard-earned savings. Therefore, this management must be queried and those responsible must face the full force of the law. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the extent of financial loss incurred by SACCOs across the county, and particularly Tower SACCO and Moki SACCO, SACCOs in Nyandaro County due to investment linked to CUSCO. Number 2, the culpability of CUSCO directors and senior management in the mismanagement of SACCO funds, including whether they acted negligently or fraudulently in handling investments. Number 3, the specific steps being undertaken to hold CUSCO directors accountable, including criminal investigation, potential asset seizures, and legal actions to recover lost funds. Senator John Methu, MP, Senator for Nyandaro. Finally, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order, honorable senators. May the Senator for Nyandaro be heard in silence.
Thank you for protection, honorable Speaker. I see my colleagues are quite excited that I'm now very, very busy. I'm no longer a chairman, so I have a lot of time. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the rapid increase in Kenya's public debt and its implications for the economic stability, financial sustainability, and service delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya's total public and publicly guaranteed debt has surged to Kenya shillings 11.02 trillion as of January 2025, accounting for 65.7% of the gross domestic product, GDP. This level of indebtedness exceeds the 55% GDP threshold recommended under the Public Financial Management, PFM framework. The rapid accumulation of debt is compounded by ballooning debt servicing costs, persistent fiscal deficit, and reliance on external borrowing on external borrowing. Of particular concern is the bilateral debt. Bilateral debt stands at 1.09 trillion, which China holds 60.6% of this amount. The country now faces the risk of being trapped in a debt cycle that threatens national sovereignty, economic growth, and service delivery. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the measures being taken by government to ensure that Kenya's public debt remains within sustainable levels for safeguarding national development priorities. Number 2, the strategies in place to balance borrowing and revenue collection, particularly in light of Kenya's continued dependence on external financing for key infrastructure projects. Number 3, the status of physical consolidation measures aimed at reducing wasteful government expenditure and enhancing domestic revenue mobilization. 4, the government's plan to manage debt servicing obligations, including the steps being taken to renegotiate payment terms with major creditors such as China and multilateral lenders. Number 5, the impact of rising public debt on critical government services, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure, and whether there are plans to mitigate the economic burden of debt repayment on citizens. Number 6, and finally, the accountability mechanisms in place to curb borrowing and ensure that all borrowed funds are utilized transparently, efficiently, and in line with national development priorities. Senator John Muhia Methu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua.
Order, honorable senators, for the convenience of the House, allow me to rearrange today's order paper. We will come back to the remaining statements. However, we will now proceed straight to handle order number 11 all the way to order number 19. Thereafter, we resume normal flow of today's order paper. Clerk, you may proceed to order. Honorable senators, kindly take your seats.
Order number
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Order number 11, motion. Reports of the 63rd and 64th sessions of the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly and the 43rd and 1st sessions of the ACP-EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly meetings held in Brussels, Belgium, and Luanda, Angola, respectively. Question to be put. Order number 12, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Budget Policy Statement, Division. Order number 13, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy, Division. Order number 14, the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2024, second reading, division. Order number 15, the Environment Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 23 of 2024, second reading, division. Order number 16, the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, division. Order number 17, the Heritage and Museums Bill, Senate Bills number 8 of 2023, second reading, division. Order number 18, the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2024, second reading, division. Order number 19, report of the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, division.
Honorable senators, kindly do take your seats.